You sigh to yourself as you collapse on the bed. Another day full of problems. You do your best to try and think of the good things that happened, but they are completely overshadowed by all the bad. You feel frustrated and helpless. You just don't know what you're doing wrong. You close your eyes, and strangely, you start to feel lighter, as though something is lifting you up gently. Welcome, my child. Forgive me for bringing you here so suddenly. I had to choose a time when our meeting wouldn't be noticed. Shh. There is no need to fear. You are not dead. You are in a space of my own creation. I designed it to look like the average human's concept of heaven for thematic reasons. Does it make you uncomfortable? Wonderful. Please take a seat anywhere. These clouds will hold your weight and even adjust to support your body comfortably. You can recline or lie down if that's more comfortable. Now, I'm sure you're all wondering why you are here. But first, please allow me to explain who I am. My name is Antidas. I'm what you might call a god. I'm not sure it's the most accurate name for what we are, but a proper explanation would take a very long time and break more than a few of our laws. Let it suffice to say that I am an immortal being with a great deal of power. I am not the only one of my kind either. We number in the hundreds and have had a great deal of influence over many worlds. Now, as to why I brought you here, this might be difficult to accept, frustrating even, but I would ask that you listen patiently. Hopefully, everything will make sense by the end. You are part of what you might call a game, a playing piece among us gods. Shh. Please listen to my explanation first. I think you'll find that it's not as bad as it first sounds. Games such as these are very popular among my kind. With all the power at our disposal, there is not much else to do aside from compete against each other. In the past, these games have often been quite destructive. Not all of us consider mortal lives to have much worth, unfortunately. Many changed the course of mortal history for their own purposes. Some of the more extreme games would leave entire worlds ruined. In the interest of preserving worlds and treating mortals with care, we came to an agreement about these games. Nowadays, all our games have a few rules in common, including bans on causing harm or misfortune to mortals, or taking direct control of them. At least, that's how it's supposed to go. The game you are involved in is supposed to be one that's perfectly harmless to mortals. In fact, it should be beneficial. Each god or goddess chooses a mortal to watch over from birth. We each get certain moves to make at various points in their lives. The goal is to have the mortal we chose become the most successful and fortunate of the group by the end of their life. It's a good game, full of suspense and requiring a great deal of cleverness and skill. We can't know exactly how a mortal might react to our moves, whether they'll take the opportunities provided for them. You might have already guessed this, but you are the mortal I chose. The circumstances of your birth led me to believe that you have a great deal of potential. In a sense, you are my playing piece. Unfortunately, you likely have noticed that you have recently encountered a streak of bad luck. I have reason to believe that one of my opponents is behind it. No, you're correct. We are forbidden from causing such misfortune in all games, especially this one. Players are only allowed to make moves that affect their own peace. My opponent is cheating, and unfortunately, they are very good at it. I haven't been able to prove that they are behind this, although I am positive they are responsible. It is my intention to counteract their efforts. Strictly speaking, I am cheating right now as well by bringing you here. I will accept being disqualified if it means that you won't be treated unfairly anymore. But I believe that I can get away with it and continue to support you throughout your life. Well, first, I wanted to bolster your confidence a little bit. It seems to me you believe all this bad luck is somehow your fault, and it is affecting your ability to handle each new obstacle in your life. Let me assure you, these things aren't your fault. No mortal can choose which hardships come their way. There are many things in your life that are simply not under your control, and that is normal. I've watched over many, many mortals, and they all have to face their own hardships. You would be surprised, I think, to learn how many others there are that go through the things you do. Even if any of these problems were your fault, there could only be one way forward: to forgive yourself and move on. The mortal mind can be such a strange thing, dwelling on things that cannot be changed. You must learn to push away such thoughts. Decide what you would have done differently, and you can leave the past behind you. I also want to reassure you about your own accomplishments. Having told you that I have been blessing you with good fortune, I fear you may have gotten the impression that you aren't the cause for your own success. This couldn't be farther from the truth. One of the game's most important rules is that we cannot force success on our piece. We may only provide opportunities for them to capitalize on. This means that victory is largely dependent on that first initial choice. You have been provided with many good opportunities in your life that have helped you along. You may have been fortunate enough to be provided with them, but it is only because you recognized and used them correctly that you are where you are. Everyone can receive good fortune in their life. It is nothing to be ashamed of, nor does it mean that you aren't truly successful. Your victories are your own. Now, let me instruct you a bit on what will be happening in the future. I'm afraid that I cannot prevent the interloper from interfering in your life, at least not right away. They will still be sneaking around, trying to make things difficult for you. I am going to do my best to expose them, but it will take time. In the meantime, I hope that you can take what I've told you to heart. You are one of the most resilient mortals I've ever encountered, and I believe that you can handle their tricks. They are fortunately limited in what they can do without being discovered, so don't fear. You will not be presented with more challenges than you are able to bear. It's also worth noting that there is a reason they are targeting you. of all the pieces on the board, you have the greatest potential. You are capable and hard-working. Fear not. As soon as I expose that cheater, I will request extra blessings for you to compensate for the unfairness that you have had to deal with. I also have one more thing for you. Do you see this pendant? It is an artifact of my own making. Anytime you are feeling particularly overwhelmed, put it on. It will alter fate, making it more difficult for bad fortune to affect you. But take care. The longer you wear it, the less effective it will become. You will have to let it recharge for a while to reach full power again. It would be best to save it for especially difficult moments in your life. No need to fear. The other players will notice it, but it makes no difference. It only turns away bad fortune inflicted by one of us. Nobody will dare object to you having it, because that will imply that they are cheating. Now, I'm afraid that our time together is growing short. I have to have you back home fairly soon, but please, remember everything that I have told you. You are a strong, promising mortal, the sort that one of us might have called to be a champion in the old days. You will make it through this. I am certain of it. I also want to tell you that I am very pleased with you. I'm happy that I chose you as my piece. You have never made me regret my choice, not even once. I look forward to watching over you for the rest of your days, if I remain in the game. Well, I'm not certain whether we'll meet again. I'm pushing boundaries as it is, but I know that I would enjoy speaking to you again. If you truly need me again, I'll find a way to make it work. I suppose you could always pray to me if you like. I had my own religion once, long ago on another world. I do miss that, a little bit. I won't be able to talk back, but I will always be here to listen if you need to talk. I would wish you good fortune, but I don't have to wish. I will bring it your way. Take care, mortal. You are doing wonderfully.